Welcome to the video. First, we will unpack the controversial truth about buying back your time. Then, we will examine how high earners can reduce burnout by strategically outsourcing low-value tasks. Next, we will walk through a concrete time value calculation, a step-by-step plan, and a budget framework so you can act with confidence. Before we proceed, a quick disclaimer. This video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial, legal, or tax advice. Everyone's circumstances are unique, so please consider consulting a qualified professional before making significant financial decisions. Now let's move forward into the agenda. In this agenda, we will first explore why high earners are especially vulnerable to burnout. Next, we will discuss research-backed reasons to buy time instead of things. After that, we will calculate your effective hourly wage with concrete examples. Then, we will examine false frugality and how to avoid it. Afterwards, we will show how to budget so you can spend without guilt. Finally, we will provide a 30-day action plan to implement this approach. To begin, high earners often find themselves trapped between financial success and a relentless mental load. The constant churn of work responsibilities, household tasks, ongoing maintenance, professional development, and staying healthy creates chronic stress. Consequently, the ability to relax disappears. Therefore, paying for convenience is not simply a luxury. For those who are financially stable, it can be a strategic investment in mental health and quality of life. Let's connect the dots between research and real life. Studies show that spending money on services that free time produces more psychological well-being than purchasing material goods. For example, if your effective hourly wage is $55, paying $100 for a cleaner who saves you 3 hours effectively buys $165 of your time for $100. That trade is rational and beneficial. Start with the task you dread most, often house cleaning or yard work, and consider that monthly cleaning may be enough, and this way, you pay for outcomes rather than unnecessary frequency. Moving ahead, we will learn how to calculate your effective hourly wage. Now let's calculate your effective hourly wage. First, track your actual weekly work time, including commute and unpaid overtime. Second, compute your after-tax take-home pay for the same period. Third, divide take-home pay by total hours to get your effective hourly wage. Fourth, list 3 to 5 tasks you dread and estimate the hours you would save by outsourcing them. Fifth, compare the service cost to your effective hourly wage times the hours saved. If the cost is lower, outsourcing likely makes sense. Finally, plan how you will use the saved time for recovery or high-value work so the benefits materialize. To bring this to life, consider 3 quick examples. First, at $55 per hour, paying $100 for 3 hours of cleaning buys $165 of time, netting a $65 benefit. Outsourcing makes sense. Second, at $80 per hour, paying $45 for 1.5 hours of lawn care buys $120 of time, netting $75. Outsourcing is again justified. Third, at $40 per hour, paying $150 for 2 hours of furniture assembly buys only $80 of time, a negative $70 net. In this case, do it yourself unless there are special factors such as injury risk, stress, or urgency. Next, let's test your understanding with a quick quiz. Here is your question. You earn $55 per hour. A cleaner charges $100 and saves you 3 hours. Which statement is most accurate? Option 1. It is a net win because you buy $165 of time for $100. Option 2. It is a net loss because it costs cash. Option 3. It is break even. Time and money are equivalent here. Option 4. It only makes sense if you do it weekly. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is that it is a net win because you purchase $165 worth of time for $100. The net value is positive, making the decision rational if you put the saved hours toward rest or higher value activities. Now, let's move on to a common pitfall: false frugality. False frugality is when chasing the lowest possible price quietly costs you more in time, energy, and stress. For instance, hours spent scouring listings or driving across town for a small discount often exceed the value saved. Similarly, renting gear for self-pickup adds hidden costs in travel and coordination. Worse yet, buying cheap, high-use items that fail just after the warranty expires leads to repeat purchases, downtime, and frustration. A better approach is to invest in reliable quality for items you use frequently. With that clarified, let's compare do-it-yourself with outsourcing more systematically. Comparing do-it-yourself to outsourcing reveals complementary strengths. DIY provides control, potential savings, and learning opportunities. But it consumes time and may introduce errors, rentals, and mental burden. Outsourcing, by contrast, saves time, reduces mental load, and delivers professional quality, though it requires cash and some coordination. Therefore, use DIY for simple, infrequent, low-stakes tasks, and outsource recurring, specialized, or high-load work. Next, let's resolve the guilt by budgeting intentionally. To remove guilt, design your budget to authorize these purchases in advance. First, fully fund your goals. Maintain a robust emergency fund and maximize retirement contributions. Second, allocate a clear percentage to freedom money used for time-buying services. Third, spend that category intentionally on meal prep services, cleaning, or delivery without shame, because the allocation is pre-approved. In short, discipline should improve your life rather than constrict it. Now, let's map out a practical 30-day plan to get started. This timeline shows a 4-week implementation plan. In week 1, you track actual hours, compute after-tax take-home, and calculate your effective hourly wage. In week 2, you list dreaded tasks, estimate hours saved, shortlist providers, and set a pilot budget. In week 3, you hire for one task, schedule the service, and intentionally plan how to use the saved time. In week 4, you review the results, compare cost to your effective hourly wage times, hours saved, adjust your budget, and decide whether to scale up. Next, let's decide where to start for maximum impact. To get momentum, start with the single task you dread most. For many, routine cleaning or yard work delivers the fastest relief. Choose the lowest frequency that still maintains acceptable standards. Monthly cleaning often suffices. Meanwhile, batch other low-value chores by automating bills, using subscription deliveries, and setting refills to autopilot. Finally, schedule a review in 4 weeks to evaluate stress reduction, time saved, and budget impact. Before we wrap up, test yourself on false frugality. Here is your next question. Which scenario is most likely false frugality? Option 1. Driving 40 minutes to buy a used item for $15 less, costing 2 hours. Option 2. Paying $60 for grocery delivery that saves 2 hours when you value your time at $50 per hour. Option 3. Buying the cheapest high-use electronics that often fail after the warranty. Option 4. Renting a pickup and spending an entire afternoon hauling to save a $35 delivery fee. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The best answer is the first scenario. It burns 2 hours to save $15, which is a poor trade if you value your time. The third and fourth options also carry hidden time and quality costs. By contrast, the grocery delivery example buys $100 of time for $60, which is a favorable trade. Now, let's crystallize the key points. Here are the key takeaways. First, calculate your effective hourly wage and use it to guide outsourcing decisions. Second, favor time-buying services because they improve well-being more than material purchases. Third, avoid false frugality by accounting for hidden time costs. Fourth, allocate freedom money in your budget to remove guilt and enable consistent action. Fifth, start with your most dreaded task, review results, and scale what works. Finally, let's summarize and close out. In summary, your life is more than a checklist. Optimize it by buying back recovery time. Use numbers rather than guilt to guide these choices. Let financial discipline serve your quality of life. As we conclude, here is a final request to support the channel and keep learning together. Thank you for watching. If this video helped, please like, share it with someone who needs relief from burnout, and subscribe for more evidence-based strategies to buy back your time. Drop your thoughts and your first outsourcing target in the comments so we can all learn from each other.